Hello everyone. I am back with a pile of journals on my table to show you guys today. Today is Sunday, the 29th of March, and I hope everyone is well. All of these will be in my Etsy shop, so if this video is up, then they are in there. So if you've seen my videos from the last 4 or 5 days, I think, I have been playing around. Let's see, we'll just start with small and go to big. How about that? I've been playing around with putting napkins onto muslin bags. So this was just a plain old, muslin bag with drawstrings. And I have decoupaged napkins onto them. And I'm kind of excited about how they're turning out. It's fun, and every bag is different. No two will be the same, because I don't think you could ever get the napkin back down the same way each time. I think they all have some sort of a charm hanging on them. This one's got a flower. So there is that. I'm trying to find a ruler here. And this little guy, this was just a little, I did a lot of goofing around. There's a piece of seam binding with a little charm. And what this was, it was a little, not a wallet, I think it was a business card holder. So let me make sure I'm in camera here. Been known to do that a time or two. So here's the front, and again, this is a napkin, and this was leather. And when you have it in your hand, you can see the leather pattern on it. So there's just a little journal plate. And inside, just my business card, there's two pockets, right? There's one here and there's one here. And then there's red leather, so I didn't want to cover up that red. I really liked it. And I just tucked a little notebook in here, just a plain little notebook. And then I also put two little bits of lace in there just as an extra little goodie. And then here's the back with my stamp. What's fun about this is this business card was in it, and it says George Leach, Commander Department, past Junior Vice Commander Chief, Inspector General, and it's got a cute little stamp on it and some writing on the back. Anyway, I just left it in there because I thought it was part of the history of this little guy. And then on the front and back, that's just some Tim Holtz paper. So that's that little guy. And most of these that I'm going to show you are pretty, I don't want to use the word plain, not decorated. They don't have a bunch of ephemera in them. So they're going to have a lower price point, than my regular journals, which I think would be fun, That way everybody can get a little something. So that's that guy. And then this one, oh, I didn't measure it. You see how I am? Let me measure it for you. It is 5 1/4 by 3. That little guy is. And then this one's coordinating. I think this is the only one that's matchy-matchy. So, the napkin on both. And this is one of the old vintage postage or postal little bags. And I just put napkin over the tag on this one, but you can still see the 2 and order number and return postage, place postage here. And I put some washi there to reinforce that. Here's the back. And this one has a little key and a little Snow White book hanging on it. And this one measures 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. Here's the front of the journal, and here's the back. And the difference in color is that, this was put on muslin, and this was just put on a craft cardstock, so it gave it more of a vintage look. And I have sealed these all. They have a coat of matte sealer on them, so I'm very confident it will hold up very well. And it's got a seam binding closure with some eyelets. And here is the inside. And of course, I forgot to count the pages, you know me, but I'll do it and put it in the Etsy listing. There's a little piece of ledger sewn on there, a Sears page, a little pocket with a library catalog card. That was a little paper bag, a little piece of acetate that I printed on, and I've just clipped it on with one of those beautiful little Prima paper clips. And just some little bits, lots of tea stain paper, some Tim Holtz vellum, tea stain ledger. Here's the middle with the postage stamps like I love to do. And there's some stickers throughout. Like I said, you know, not full of ephemera or decoration. Yours to do what you would like. Some more tea stained paper. There's a little pocket there with just a little notepad with some of that new Tim Holtz fabric tape. That is yummy. And another little pocket with some old ledger tucked in. Here's the back, and then in back here I've just clipped on some bits of lace and fabric, just some extra goodies to play with in the journal. All right, so there's that one. And I think this was my very first attempt. So this one, there's your napkin, decoupage bag, and your tag. And this one I just tea stained the tag to darken it up. And this one's got a Little Red Riding Hood book and a key. And this journal measures 7.5 by 4. And there's the front and the back. Again with the seam binding closure. And there's a little pocket there with a handwritten note, some of Rosemary's eco-dyed paper. The last of my beautiful little collage playing cards from Maddie. That was out of a ledger that had photos of silent movie stars back in the day. Some mulberry, some more tea stained. In the center of this one is a handwritten Western Union from 1931. Some more mulberry. There's just a glassine bag with my business card inside. More tea stain. This is that yellow, like, it's a little bit thicker than tracing paper. You can still see through it. One of the Timmy mushrooms. The vintage postcard there. And here's the back, and again with some lace and some fabric clipped on for a bit of extra. And then the last, I love this one. This was a napkin, you guys. Isn't it cool? Now, this is my regular size muslin bag that my journals usually come in. So it is about 11 by 9 3/4. And just know that because it's been decoupaged on here, the string no longer will cinch up because of the glue in there. And this one's got a cameo with a vintage key. And in this one this was an old book cover that I repurposed. And I did, let's see, if you can see, behind this is a napkin, but behind it is a piece of vintage ledger from the early 1800s. So that's this writing, and all of this writing is the ledger. And I love how it gives the texture. And again, see the writing here and all the numbers throughout. That's ledger. And then I decoupaged the napkin over it. And then there's some Tim Holtz fabric with some very vintage lace on the spine. And then I hung a bunch of little charms off of there. And you could take those and put them inside the journal. I just thought it was fun, something different on the front. And this one measures 9.5 by 6.25, and it is about 1 inch thick. It has 4 signatures. I believe this one's got about 80 pages, maybe more. And this is the end paper out of those end paper books that I've been getting on Amazon. If you're interested, I'll have all the links down below. I think I've got 5 different books now, so those are fun. This is a piece of ledger, just like that's on the cover, from 1840. Gorgeous. There's a little Timmy clip and tag and library catalog card. And again, very, very plain, not a lot of decoration, so you can do what you want with it. Little Dutch girl postcard, tea stain paper. There's a pocket here with a piece of lace and a piece of fabric tucked in. This is some old ledger, and then hopefully you can see there's a little ball pin here with a gypsy bell. One of Rosemary's eco-dyed pages. That's out of that new Antiquarian sticker book. And a little piece of music paper on there. Another sticker there. And there. This is a vintage letter in the envelope. Some old ledger. And there is a little glassine envelope with some postage stamps and a microfilm flash card. A couple of little bits on there with a little binocular paper clip. And this is parchment paper and tea stain. This is some Nina paper. See, Nina paper. The other side of that ledger with a couple of Timmy bits tucked in. Some more of Rosemary's yummy paper. Some old ledger. Some more parchment. The vintage receipt from 1925. The other side of that ledger was some music paper and a receipt from 1923. And here's the last page and a book plate in the back. And that's what that one looks like. And last but not least, here is just a regular muslin bag. And I thought I would just do a little bit of collaging on the front. So there's a vintage doily, one of these little plates that I've made, and a button and a butterfly. These are both of some French ephemera. These are both part of the new Tim Holtz ideology things. And here's a little mirror charm. And then in this one, oh, this is my favorite napkin. I've just tied this shut with some sari. And this one measures 9.25 by about 6 1/8, and it is just about 1 inch thick. Again with the end papers that I love. And you'll see a lot of the same papers in this one. It's just what I had in the stack on my desk. So there's the ledger, tea stain, eco-dyed, the Nina paper, more tea stained, more Rosemary paper. This little pocket's got a piece of stationery card and envelope that my daughter brought me from Italy last year. This is some of that Japanese calligraphy paper, some mulberry, more tea stains. And these big ones both have 4 signatures is what's in these. Some more ledger. Vintage postcard tucked in that little spot with a tiny clip. One of my favorite ledgers because of the orientation. Some more Rosemary paper. And tea stained, and the yellow paper again. And this pocket back here, a little bit of collage with some fabric and lace and trim tucked in, and your book plate. So there those are, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching the flip through. if you want to see our silly videos over the last few days of decoupaging the napkins and making, we also made these little journals. You definitely need to have a sense of humor. We were very silly and we had a lot of fun making these. So I will get these in the shop and I'll see you guys soon. Have a great afternoon. Bye everyone.